In part one of this masterclass on how to record demos in Reaper, we recorded virtual drums, bass, and real electric guitar. We also punched in and out. In part two, we'll record vocals, add EQ, compression, and effects, and some keyboards. So if you are a musician who wants to record demos in Reaper with the minimal equipment, this video is for you. I'm Keith from No Label, No Producer, No Limits.com. Let's go.
When she smiles, it feels like the sun.
Okay, it's time to cut some vocals. The first thing that I want to do is give myself a note to start on. So I'm going to copy this bass track out by clicking on it, left clicking on it, holding down Control, that would be Command on a Mac, and copying it over. And then let's just leave the first note so that I can have a cue. I'm lasso selecting these by right-clicking and dragging, hitting delete. Now I just have the opening note. Now I know where I am. Okay, next thing, let's make some room. I'm going to select all these tracks, left-click, Shift, left-click, hold down Alt, that would be Option on a Mac. Click down and make one track smaller. And now it makes all of them smaller. And now I have some room here. I'll double-click to create a new track here in the Track Control panel. Put it in Record Ready. Pull that out a little bit, and my microphone here is plugged into channel 2 of my audio interface, so let us change that to mic line 2, and you should see some levels here. Now if I want to hear myself, I would turn record monitoring 2 on, but I'm going to leave it off just so that you don't hear 2 of me. Label the track, lead vocals, and check the levels. My software, my Evo software, I can call that up here. And take a look at what the levels are. About the loudest thing I'm going to sing is sing. So that is well below -6 there, so I think we're okay. And I'm ready to cut vocals. I'm going to stand up to do that and move back a little bit, so I'll join you then. Okay, we'll start back at the beginning of the song. I've got my headphones on. Let's cut a track. I'm going to hit record.
When she smiles, it feels like the sun. The sun. And I'm alright. The future's bright with this one. With this one.
Let's do another take. So I think between those two, we have a take of the verse. As of yet, we haven't done anything with EQ or effects. That's next. Okay, now we have the vocal cut. Let's do a little elementary processing to it. Let's start with EQ. I'm going to click on the effects button on the lead vocal track and type in R-E-A-E, come up with EQ, Reaper's stock EQ. Now typically on a vocal, I will turn on a high-pass filter, maybe flatten out the curve a little bit by turning up the bandwidth, and just take out some of the low rumble to start.
It feels like the sun. The sun. And I'm alright. The future's bright with this one. This one. When she smiles, it feels like the sun. The sun. And I'm alright. The future's bright with this one.
Let's start there.
When she smiles. When she smiles, it feels like the sun. The sun. And I'm alright. The future's bright with this one. this one.
Okay, we'll start there and let's add a little compression. I'm going to start with the NC76 from Toucan. It's going to be a Toucan heavy day. This is just to take off peaks, so I will start with a 12:1 ratio, and I will bring the input in until I see maybe 2 or 3 dB taken off on the peaks, and then I'll adjust the output with the output gain. Let's get the input set first.
When she
Too much.
smiles, it feels like the sun. The sun. And I'm alright. You're just bright with this one. When she smiles, it feels like the sun.
Okay, that's good. So now what I will do, I'll solo this up and use the output gain to try to match the input gain so it sounds the same level generally going out as coming in.
When she smiles,
It's louder without the compression.
it feels like the sun.
So I turn it up here.
The sun. The sun.
Let's just left click and drag to select that section and turn on toggle repeat, and we'll just repeat this.
The sun. The sun.
It's a little louder without.
The sun. The sun. The sun.
Okay, we're good. Now let's do the same thing. We're going to add a different compressor, the LA-Toucan. And this one, it's fairly similar. And you can hit this one pretty hard. You adjust how much it compresses with the peak reduction, and then we adjust the output with the gain. Again, we want to match the level of the signal coming out with the level of the signal coming in so they sound about the same.
It feels like the sun. The sun. And I'm alright. The future's bright with this one.
A little bit louder without the compressor, so let's just again select an area and toggle it.
It feels like
That sounds good.
he smiles.
Okay, that's close enough for me. Now we have compression and a little bit of EQ. Let's get some reverb and delay going. I'm going to again hit escape to clear this selection. I clicked down in an empty area here in the track control panel. Click a couple times to add a couple tracks. Let's label this first one verb and the second one delay. And on the first one, we'll use a Lexicon 2. I'm going to type Lexi, and we got the Lexicon 2. Click on it, double click on it, and select a plate. Now to route the vocal to the reverb, I'm just going to click on the left click on the route button and drag it down here. And now we should have some reverb.
When she smiles, it feels.
I'm going to turn this to 100% wet because we only want reverb on this. And turn the tilt all the way to the top to brighten it up a little bit. It still has a little bit too much low end for me, so I'm going to pop an EQ after it. Let's use Reek this time. R-E-E-Q, and I'm going to double click to create a band and turn it into a low cut, low channel, and just push this up a little bit. And let's do the same thing with the high end. We'll create a band by double clicking and create a high cut and pull this down. I'm not going to need anything. We're here at about 5K right here. I don't need anything up there. That's just sibilance.
It feels like the sun.
I'm turning the reverb down now a little bit.
The sun. And I'm alright. The future's bright with this one. This one.
The fastest way to get better at home recording is with a mentor. No, not with a Minotaur, a mentor. It's the way we all came up in the studio system back in the day. It's going to cut dozens of hours off of your learning curve, and it's going to drop your frustration dramatically. So if you're interested in home recording, I have a mentorship program. Just type home recording in the comments, and I'll send you more information. Okay, let's do the same with the delay. I'm going to click on the effects button, type in machine. We're looking for delay machine. And if you don't see these plugins, you can install them via Repack. And I'll have a link below in the resources section that will tell you how to do that. So we've got delay machine here. Again, we're going to turn the output all the way to wet. And I'm going to drag from the route button of the lead vocal to the route button of the delay machine. And we should have plenty of delay now. Terrible delay. Now what we have here on this device is 2 channels, and they're panned left and right currently, and we can click sync, which will sync them up to the beats of the song, to the tempo of the song. Now let's do quarter notes on one side, quarter note, let's say quarter note triplets, and then eighth notes on the other side. And that might be a little fast. We'll take the feedback down on each side so that it doesn't repeat on and on, but we want about the same number, the same length of repeats here. Let's hear that. I think maybe something a little longer, so I'll go for quarter notes and quarter note triplets. We'll see if that results. It's kind of draggy sounding, so we'll see if that results in too much drag. Let's pull this down somewhat. Okay, now I'm going to pull the high pass filter up because we don't need the low end on this either. We'll put it up to about 300. You know what? Better to link these, and we can just do it once. Okay, so about 300. And let's do the same thing with a high pass filter. So what I'm doing here, by the way, I've selected both these tracks by left clicking, holding down shift, left clicking. And now if I turn the volume of one of them up or down, they both go up or down. So we were at about -11 there. And I'm alright. The future's bright with this one. Okay, let's find out what's next. Okay, since I've seen you guys last, I've done a few things. I recut the lead vocal and recorded a harmony vocal that's tucked in underneath it, using all the same processing pretty much as the lead vocal. And I added some keyboards. Let me show you what I did, and then we'll talk about how I did it so that you can do the same kind of thing yourself. So first of all, since I started recording this song, I kept hearing a da-da-da-da-da-da-da part in between the vocal lines, so I added that here with this keyboard. Like the sun, the sun. That's just to kind of fill in that space. There's a lot of space in there between the 2 vocal lines. And then I added a keyboard part. It's kind of a fill-in part. It's not designed to be super loud. I'm going to turn it up so you can hear it. It syncopates along with the bass in certain parts, and then in other parts it goes along with the vocals. So here's the bass with this organ track. There it's syncopated with the organ. So, and with the vocals here. When she smiles, it feels alive. So you notice that it matches the bass in the syncopated parts that are in between the vocal lines, so hopefully it doesn't step on the vocals. A couple of things going on that I've done differently, and one is to create some master tracks. Let me make these smaller so that we can have room to operate. I'm selecting all the tracks, holding down Alt, that would be Option on a Mac, and then letting go. I'm going to click twice to create a track, and I will do that 3 times. And now we have 3 tracks. And if I want to make one the master over these other 2, I can just select the bottom 2. That's left clicking, holding down shift and left clicking, and click and drag those to the right until they indent. And now this volume control will control these two tracks. Let me delete that. So I did that both with the organ and the synthesizer, and let me do that with the vocals too. I'm going to click here and do Control T to add a track, grab the two vocals and drag them up there, and we'll call this Vocal Master. So how do you do this kind of thing? How do you add keyboards? Let me do this on a new track. I'm going to double click to create a new track, and then here's the part that I want to create the keyboard part on. I can left click and drag. I want the keyboard part to be that long. Make sure the track is selected. Go up here to Timeline, insert MIDI. And then I can double click on the MIDI item to open it up and start painting notes. But we don't hear anything yet, and that's because I don't have anything to play the track back with. So let us click on the effects button, and I've typed in Synth M, and I have a synthesizer called Synth Master. You don't have to use this one, but you can pick any of the sounds here. I'm just randomly picking. I'm going to play a note. I think this cost me $9 on sale. It's got a zillion sounds in it. So I just found a couple of sounds that I liked. Let me delete that track. Just found a couple sounds that I liked for this synth part, and I'll show you. Here's the one on the left. Here's the one on the right. Two different sounds, and I panned one left and one right, and just did the same part. You could try a harmony part or a part up or down an octave if you like. And then on the master, I did a couple of things. I added a modulation plugin from Toucan, selected phaser, and timed the sweep of the phaser with the beat of the song. I have it set for 100% wet. And I put delay machine on here and mixed it in with the mix knob. I have synced the left and right channels up with the beats of the music, and I have this one set, the left side set for triplet, half notes, and the right side set for half notes. Let's hear that. Let's take those off. Here's with the modulation. And here's with the delay. A lot of space in there to fill up. Something interesting to listen to. Now with the keyboards, I used a Toucan plugin called Rotary, and I just chose a couple of the presets. There's a lot of controls in here. I didn't mess with them. I just chose two different presets. There's the left side. Here's the right side. You could do different voicings and different patches as well. Let's see, what did I choose on the right side? Black Magic Upper. A lot of controls here. I didn't mess with them. I just put them in a master and did some, frankly, pretty shady stuff here. I put a wave shaping distortion on, and then a regular distortion on, and then this, I don't know where I got this plug-in, but it's a Leslie. Leslie's the old rotating speaker, so it gives it that Hammond B3 kind of sound. So without these, and then with all the distortion and Leslie on it, it sounds like this. Now this isn't supposed to be a prominent part. It is supposed to just kind of fill in behind the guitars and keep the thing sounding meaty and full. I don't think I covered this much, but you just paint the notes in. Wherever you want them to be, you paint them in. So here's what we have thus far.
When she smiles, it feels like the sun. The sun. And I'm alright when you're just bright with this one. This one.
And then we're on into the next part, which I haven't started yet. And of course, you don't have to record this way. You don't have to record in sections, but I'm just making this song up as we go, so that's what I'm doing. So that is how to add synthesizer parts or organ parts or any MIDI instrument that you have, really.
I just smile and say, I'll be there in no time. So I just smile and say, I'll be there in no time. I plan my getaway, gonna leave all this behind. No, I'm not gonna stay, gonna hit the road and feel the wind upon my face, my mind, instead of living this slow life. I just smile and say, I'll be there in no time.
Type home recording in the comments to get more information on the home recording mentorship program. So there's lots we could do with this. One thing I would do is pull these drum tracks, these scratch drums, down on the individual channels, create some fills, EQ each drum differently. I'd work with the bass, but I think we're in demo quality here, and so let's see how we would run off a quick master. The first thing I would do, maybe the only thing here, is I would go to the master. And if you don't see the master, if you right click here and go to visibility, master track in track view would turn it on, and click on the effects button and type in REAL and look for relimit. So this is Reaper's stock limiter, and it works very simply. I just set it for true peak and pull this down to about -0.7, and then play the mix and then pull the threshold down until I'm getting a little bit of limiting.
This one. When she smiles, it feels like the sun. The sun.
That's more than I would do in a typical session, but that brings the level up. And then we could render. If I go to File, Render Export, and so I'm going to render the master mix and the entire project and pick a directory. I usually create a directory called mixes for my mixes. I'm going to render at 48K in stereo, but you can render to whatever sample rate you like. And then let's just see what kind of numbers we run here if we do this. It looks like we're about 11 or 12 on the left's integrated, so we'd probably want to pump that up a little bit by putting a little bit more compression on it.
When she smiles, it feels like the sun. The sun. And I'm alright.
60 dB in my mind is too much to be taken off the top with a limiter, but in terms of creating a loud enough master just as a demo, I think we're fine. We're going to go to Render. And what is this called? Let's call it the sun. We're going to go to New Song 2. Hey, I've got my caps lock, so that's pretty cool. And let's create a directory called Mixes. Really need to turn my caps lock off. So what I'm going to do here is select this area. We don't need the count off, so I'm going to scoot this in till right before the guitars start, and we're going to render it instead of entire project time selection. And let's render one file. And it looks like we're hitting just a little less than 10 LUFS integrated, which is, you know, that works. Okay, let's launch the file and listen to it.
When she smiles, it feels like the sun.
Okay, obviously the snare needs a little attention. We've got a lot of things that we could fix, but I think that's a good mix for a demo to give to bandmates or just to demo the song for someone. If you want to take a deeper dive into how I might mix something like this, there's a link to a video coming up right as I speak. For now, I'm Keith from No Label, No Producer, No Limits.com, and I've got to learn to turn my caps lock key off. That's an old man move. I'll see you on the flip side.